All right, to watch this video here for Wednesday, February 24th. Remember, I'm a day trader, so I'm just trying to find stocks that can make me money tomorrow. All right, the SPY, you could argue, broke right here, the top of a range, right? It's been in a range from here down to here, but anytime you have this kind of shape to break out of the top of the range, you better be thinking short. 50-day also slapped it down. Now, are we going to come down and find support at the 20-day or the 8-day, somewhere, the 10-day, somewhere in here? Or are we headed back down to the bottom of a range? Don't know, don't really care. Just play it one stock at a time, but we always keep an eye on the overall market to make sure that our intraday trades aren't fighting the overall market. So here goes with my watch list. VHC. Now, this isn't very bullish, but it gapped up here, came down, then kind of went sideways for, I don't know, a couple weeks, and now we're down like, let me make sure I have daily candles. We're down like 5 or 6 days in a row, close to a gap fill. If this gets below 5, I think this is worth watching for a bounce. I'm certainly not bullish when I look at this, but it is a good setup for a bounce, having fallen from over 7 to, if we can catch it under 5, that's a pretty good fall in about 5 days. So let's keep VHC on watch. UNIS gapped up yesterday on good news, and then just right back down to almost a gap fill, but it's pretty good bounce play setup. Nice volume on the gap up, and then 2 days lower. Want to watch this one for a potential bounce. That's UNIS. FSAM, another one. You see a theme here. Another nice move, and now 2 days lower. A bit of a bottoming tail today, so want to watch that one for potential long. WATT. I kind of feel like this one needs to come in for another day because it's made a really big move here, but a couple days lower, so it lands itself on the bounce play watch list. Weight Watchers, WTW. I like this 2-day move, and then a couple days, couple quiet inside days. So this goes back on bounce watch for tomorrow. One of my favorites for tomorrow, but anything can happen. SPWR. I think it had pretty good earnings when it reported a few days ago, and then it's got nice bounces back here off 20. So after earnings, we're pretty much straight down. If this can get to 20, it becomes really interesting. First Solar, as soon as I learn how to type, First Solar closed at whatever that was, 61.79, and is trading in after hours at around 64 bucks right now. So close to today's high. Today's high was 64.56. It went as high as 66 in after hours. So First Solar reported that might be enough to. We'll see how it trades on an intraday basis. But I really like this SPWR if it gets down or below 20 for a bounce play. TROV. This is a fairly handsome chart here. This had this really nice spike, kind of a little cup and handle, and it's trying to break out again to the upside. If this can get through 5 with some volume, it might just move all the way up and test that 6. But anything can happen. So I'm just going to, right now, it just goes on my long watch list. Who knows if I'll catch a trade in it or not, but it'll be on watch for sure. VLTC, after this spike, let me go to 15-minute candle to show you why this is kind of interesting. You had this big move from 366 all the way to 540. These are 15-minute candles. So that happened in 30 minutes the other day. That's a huge move. And then it settled in, started to go sideways. And then yesterday, made a move from 395 all the way to almost 450. That's a nice move percentage-wise. And then today, just a quiet day. So to me, this is interesting if it gets up over, say, 430, especially if it breaks today's high. So I'll say 434. I wouldn't be surprised to see this break 450. And if it does, they might start getting excited and move this thing back up to that $5 area. So right now, it's quiet and it's spready. So I really want to make that one break the high of the day before I'll mess with it tomorrow, all right? Preferably if it had news or something like that. But it's kind of a sleeper to keep your eyes on. ETSY, kind of flagging here after a pop and then started to roll over today, closed at 739, but in after hours, it's up here at 844. Let's see, what was the high right here? The high was here, right here was 843. So it's, if we were to open tomorrow about where it is in after hours, I'm assuming they had earnings, that is a potential gap play. You got to like this one over 8.5, so that one could make a quick move to 9. So Etsy goes on watch for a potential gap play tomorrow. And then DWA closed at 2106 and is trading right now at 2311 in after hours. So it's trading up here. We do have the 200-day that might come into play, but that's another potential gap play. If you're wondering how we play gap plays, I mean, it's not always going to be the same. We had EYES on watch today, and I just called. This is what I love to see. I love to see for the opening few minutes sellers come in, and then I like to see these sellers fail. I mean, that's my best way to put it in a nutshell. So I called this as it got back up through the open here, 577, and you can see what happened. It ended up going all the way to, from 577 at its best, it went to almost $7 and really settled in pretty strong. So I said this yesterday, EYES is going to be on watch every day this week because they're going to be highlighted in an HBO special on HBO on Friday after the market closes. So it's made a big 2-day move. So I'd like to see this come in for a day or so and then maybe give me another nice setup. But anyway, EYES is a good example of how we play a gap play. And you know what? That is plenty to look for. We'll be looking for other gaps. In addition to the Etsy and DWA gappers, we'll be looking for other gaps in the morning as well. So there's plenty to watch, all right? So enjoy the rest of your evening, and we'll talk to you tomorrow.